You're listening to the Platform Launchers podcast. I'm John Stange, and it's great to have you with us as always this week. This week, I'm back with our members club. They are live here on the call. If you're listening to the podcast last week, I was away, so I didn't have the chance to be live in front of the group, and I pre-recorded the podcast last week, which was a strange experience to do that by myself. I'm normally here with a group, but the group is back, and I'm back, and so I'm grateful for that. And tonight we're going to talk about some concepts that'll help you build and grow and monetize your online platform. I always look forward to this time. By the way, if you haven't done so in a while, stop by platformlaunchers.com. And I would encourage you, if you are thinking about building an online membership community, my newest course, How to Build a Positive and Profitable Membership Community. It's available on the university page at platformlaunchers.com. If you ever thought about building a membership community of your own, it's a course that will show you the ins and the outs, the background, and all the different things that you need to know ahead of time, and the things that can help sustain you as you're building an online membership community. Just go to the university page at platformlaunchers.com. I have the course there. It's $49. It's the least expensive course that I have on the website, and I hope that price point will make it really easy for people to access. And again, we'd encourage you to stop by platformlaunchers.com, the university page. You can check it out. Newest course, How to Build a Positive and Profitable Membership Community. But this week, we're going to do something special. We're going to be talking about an author that I very much enjoy, and one of his latest books that I very much enjoy. We're going to tie it into how this builds into, or this really fits into us building our online platforms. We're going to be talking about this book right here, Dream Big by Bob Goff. I don't know if you've read the book. I don't know if you've seen the book. Let me give you a little bit of background how this is even relevant to this whole world of online platform development. First of all, I will tell you, I personally am a dreamer. I often joke with my wife that I tend to dream more when I'm awake than I do when I'm sleeping. But and I don't know if you do that too. Like if you dream more when you're awake than you do when you sleep. But when I look back over the course of my life, it quickly becomes apparent that many of the blessings and the benefits that I'm currently enjoying, those things actually began with an optimistic, faith-fueled goal or dream. For instance, I'll give you a few examples here. Before I started writing books, I dreamed about what it would feel like to hold a copy of one of my books in my hand, or to see a copy of one of my books on the shelves at Barnes & Noble, specifically the Barnes & Noble that's 8 minutes this way from my house. I used to check that Barnes & Noble out all the time. Remember when they built it in the mid-90s? It was like my favorite place to go, and I thought, boy, how cool would it be to have my book show up on the shelves of this store. And now if I walk into that Barnes & Noble, I see my book on the shelves at that store, and it's pretty cool. That was a big dream. It all started with a dream. Now it's part of my reality. So I like that. I like dreaming. I like seeing those things come to pass. How about this? When I first started podcasting, I dreamed about reaching listeners throughout the world with helpful content, with inspiring content. I wanted to see that happen. Now I have the privilege to do that every single day. And I subscribe to something called Chartable, and it gives you some updates about how your podcast is performing throughout the world and if there's any new reviews or anything like that. And I was just informed by Chartable that one of my faith-based shows is ranked in the top 20 of all Christian podcasts in the United Kingdom. I thought, wow, I noticed that all of a sudden I was getting a lot of listeners from the United Kingdom, and one of my shows is ranked in the top 20 now of all Christian podcasts in the United Kingdom. In fact, this week, the notice that I got yesterday was that it was number 17. So the Chapter a Day Audio Bible, number 17 in Christian podcasts in the UK. So thanks, UK listeners, for listening to the show. I'm really grateful for that. But how about another dream? Let's give another dream here. Before I started Platform Launchers, I actually dreamed of a day when I would have the privilege to form a membership community, that I would have the privilege to mentor and coach other faith-based and message-based entrepreneurs and create courses that help others build, grow, and monetize their online platforms, the things that you hear me talk about all the time on this show. And now I get to do that every single day of the week. I get to do that very thing. and it's very exciting. So I'm a dreamer. That's just kind of how I'm wired. I am a dreamer, and I like to take action on my dreams. The way it works for me is I patiently and methodically follow through on the things that I am convinced that I should pursue, but I also take inspiration from people who follow the same pattern in their own lives. And one of those inspiring people that really does inspire me and really does encourage me is a man named Bob Goff. Now, I just showed you the cover to his book, Dream Big. I've only spoken with Bob Goff once, um, and grateful for the conversation. But in many ways, even though I've only spoken with him once, I feel like he's allowed me to get to know him through his writing. I've read several of his books. They're all fantastic. He's an excellent storyteller. I feel like I've gotten to know him a little bit. And if you're a dreamer like I am, or if you'd like to start seeing some of your dreams become your present day reality, I would highly encourage you to read one of Bob's books in particular, and that's the book Dream Big. Again, I've got a copy of it right here. It's a book that I very much enjoy. I'll give you an overview of the book, but then I'm going to give you a few takeaways from this. I'm going to give you a little review of this, and you're going to see how this very much can fit with the desire to build to build, grow, and monetize a healthy online platform. When you read Dream Big, what you're going to discover is that it's an inspiring book, it's a motivational book, and what it's doing, Bob Goff is trying in this book to encourage the reader. If you're reading this book, he encourages you to pursue your dream, to live a life of purpose, to live a life of passion. Goff is a lawyer, he is an author, he's a humanitarian. He shares a ton of personal stories, things that I find both entertaining and encouraging. And he does this in every chapter. The chapters in the book are short, so it's a very easy book to read. But in the midst of it, as he tells these stories, he also gives practical advice to help readers, specifically in this context, discover what their dream really is and then achieve that dream. And there's some key themes, there's some key takeaways that he emphasizes in this book, and I'm going to give you those key takeaways, but I want to share this even as I prepare to give you these key takeaways. As I give you these takeaways, they will take nothing away from actually reading the book. So if you intend to read this book after I give you these takeaways, you'll be blessed in reading it. In fact, the book is just a very lighthearted, encouraging read that has some deep insights in it. But I'm going to give you a few takeaways that I have from it, and I'd encourage you to then follow up with reading the book because it's actually something that will reinforce these concepts, and maybe you'll even notice some things that weren't even takeaways of mine. You'll probably have some takeaways of your own. But one of the things that I would say is a good takeaway from the book, and I'll just say these as like action statements. The first one is this: identify your dreams. Identify what they are. So when you read the book, you have Goff emphasizing the importance of identifying what truly matters to you. And he encourages readers to ask themselves what they really want and then give themselves permission to dream big without fear or limitation. And I would say that giving yourself permission to dream is key. That's key. That's very important. In my observations, this is something that a lot of people, they actually hesitate to do. For some reason, they are convinced that big dreams are for other people, not them. And so they stop themselves short from giving their dreams permission to grow. And I don't want you to stop yourself short. I want you to give yourself permission to let your dreams grow. But one of the big takeaways that I take from this book is that, first of all, you have to identify your dreams. So that's takeaway number one. Identify your dreams. All right, here's takeaway number two: overcome fear and doubt. Overcome fear and doubt. So Goff in the book, he discusses the common obstacles that prevent people from pursuing their dreams. And some of those common obstacles include things like fear of failure or self-doubt. A lot of people really struggle with that. He also talks about societal expectations being the type of things that could be an obstacle that prevent some people from pursuing their dreams. And then what he does is he offers some strategies to overcome these challenges. He emphasizes the importance of faith. He emphasizes the importance of persistence. He emphasizes the value of just having an overall optimistic or positive mindset while you're facing your fear, while you're facing your doubt. And sometimes when I look at stuff like this and I see the things that he's written in these pages and I find them valuable, but I wonder, what would you do? And you've probably heard this question asked from time to time. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? That failure wasn't even an option. It wasn't even on the table. What would you attempt if you knew others wouldn't doubt you or look down on you? What would you attempt if you knew others wouldn't doubt you or look down on you? And how about this? What expectations are currently being imposed upon you that keep you from answering your calling? I bring those up because those very much connect with the main areas of fear and doubt that so many of us wrestle with. We fear failure. We struggle with self doubt. We've got certain societal or cultural expectations that are placed upon us that sometimes we look at these things. And it's like, all right, are these things healthy, or do I need to overcome these things? Well, he encourages us to overcome our fear and doubt. That's a big takeaway that you'll notice in the book. Third thing that stands out to me, and this is just a biggie with how I'm wired, so I guess that's why this stands out, but maybe some of you are wired the same way I am. He encourages us, number 3, to be people who take action. Take action. All throughout the book, he stresses the significance of taking tangible steps toward achieving your dreams, not just having the dreams, but actually achieving the dreams. And so he advises us to do things like create a plan, to set goals, to take consistent action, no matter how small that action happens to be, and to just keep moving closer, methodically, daily, little bits at a time, move closer to our dreams. Keep moving closer to those things. I have to tell you, when I look at how some people in this world operate, I actually grow tired of hearing people talk when I know they won't follow up their talk with action. When it's just words, words, words. And it's like, are you actually going to ever do anything? Are you just going to talk about it? Taking consistent action always precedes long term success. The people that you know in this world that you would consider successful people, they just keep taking consistent action. Sometimes they get things right, sometimes they get things wrong. But when they get something wrong, they don't let it just completely crush them. They just keep moving forward. They take consistent action. And taking consistent action always precedes long term success. And one of the things I appreciate about Bob Goff is that he's very much an optimistic action taker. So he encourages us to take action. Something else that he brings up in the book, another takeaway that we can really take from reading this, is that he encourages us to embrace both failure and growth. Embrace both failure and growth. He encourages anyone reading this to view failure as a necessary part of the journey to success. And throughout the book, he shares personal anecdotes of his own failures, things that really didn't work the way he initially thought they were going to work. And he's very transparent about that. But he also shares about how those failures led to growth and how those failures led to learning and ultimately achieving his dreams. So he looks at these things and he says, like, essentially, I'm glad they happened because they actually were useful in helping me achieve the dreams that I was aiming for. And here's the thing, and you've probably noticed this, I certainly have. Most people find failure so humiliating that they resist it at all costs. But those who don't allow failures to define them often become high achievers. So if you don't allow your failures to define you, you have the opportunity to actually achieve things that are on your list of goals and ambitions and dreams. I know, personally speaking, I like to try new things in life. I like to try new things in business, but I don't imagine this would surprise you. Some of my new ideas, they flop. Not every idea I try works. And when that happens, what I like to tell myself is this: all right, well, now you know what doesn't work. That'll save you time in the future. So that's kind of the pep talk I give myself when something I tried doesn't work. I don't know ahead of time if a new idea is going to work. And Bob Goff, in this book, he basically encourages us to embrace failure and growth. And oftentimes that growth that we experience, it comes from first experiencing some setbacks or some failures. Two other takeaways that I'll give you from this book. And this is number 5 on my list here. Number 5 is live with purpose. Live with purpose. So at its core, when you look at this book, Dream Big, It's about living a life filled with purpose and meaning. And you have Bob Goff in this book inspiring those who read it to pursue their dreams and make sure those dreams align with their values and their passions and help make a positive impact on this world. And I have to say, I'm sure you'd agree, there are a few things in life that feel quite as purposeful as living out your calling. So live with purpose. Now, my number six takeaway from this book is this, and this is kind of what helps you actually make those dreams a reality. But he encourages us to, when we're dreaming, to build a supportive community around us. He highlights the importance of surrounding yourself with people who believe in your dreams and can offer things like support, encouragement, and accountability. And I am convinced, and our members club hears me say this with regularity. This is something that I bring up plenty, but I'm convinced that this is one of the major contributors to success in just about any area of life. If you want to grow in your faith, you need a community. If you want to grow in your business, you need a community. If you have other goals and ambitions, things that you're inclined to pursue, a community will help you get there much faster, and a community will also help you remain there once you arrive. So a community, highly valuable, and he encourages us to build a supportive community when we're attempting to reach whatever dream, reach whatever goal we've got set before us. So again, overall impression of the book, when you read Dream Big, I think you're going to identify with this, but basically it's a call to action for anyone who has ever felt stuck, anyone who's ever felt uncertain, anyone who's ever felt maybe even fearful of pursuing their dreams. And what he does is he's just an enthusiastic guy who's got a very optimistic approach. And when you read this book, he just provides you with some tools and motivation that many of us need to identify our dreams, to overcome obstacles, and then take action towards living a life of purpose and passion. The book is filled with inspiring stories. It's filled with practical advice. I'm a very practical person who is highly motivated by stories. And so I really enjoy Bob Goff's writing style. But he's also got, it's like a contagious energy that you seem to pick up on when you read his writing. And he just encourages readers to dream big and make those dreams a reality. I'd highly encourage you to read it. The book is full of so many interesting stories and insights that I think that you're going to find highly beneficial and encouraged. Again, the book is Dream Big. And if you're in the process of building or growing or monetizing an online platform, this is the type of stuff that we need to be feeding our minds. This is the type of content that we need to be putting in our heads. He'll help us with this content as you read through the book, really identify things that I think help us gain some clarity on where we're trying to actually take what we're building. And then also dreaming about what we're building and what it can become. I manage two primary online platforms. I have platformlaunchers.com and I have BibleStudyHeadquarters.com. One is a business platform, the other is a faith-based platform. I have a vision for both of these platforms, and it's enjoyable to watch them grow. It happens incrementally, but it's happening joyfully, and I'm really grateful to do that. And so, again, I really appreciate writers like Bob Goff who give us just that added push as we're trying to pursue our dreams. And I hope if you're pursuing a dream of building an online platform, that if you take the time to read this, that you'll find it encouraging as well. I think it's kind of hard to not be encouraged by reading this book. So I heartily recommend it. Definitely check out Dream Big by Bob Goff. I've found it very helpful, and I hope it's helpful to you as well. But that is it for us this week. Like I said at the start of the episode, if you haven't stopped by platformlaunchers.com, be sure to do so. You can check out our newest course, How to Build a Positive and Profitable Online Membership Community. You can find that in the university at platformlaunchers.com. That course is $49. It's the least expensive course that we have in our lineup, but I've started to get feedback from people that have completed the course and they're finding it helpful. And we'd love to share that with you as well. Just stop by platformlaunchers.com and check it out. Thanks again for being with us this week. We're always grateful for this time together. It's nice for me to be behind this microphone in front of this camera as well. I'm grateful to be able to spend the time with you. And I look forward to spending a little time with you here on the microphone, in person, with our members club right here next week. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.